It's yours, Mary Mom.
Okay, cool. All right, so I'll just go ahead and play this song by Yika first, and then we'll just introduce the ladies' night after that. So we can maybe tag the ladies again while the song's playing.
Round and round on a sphere. Tell me, how do we get here? In the first place, hurtling through space. Big and bang is what they say, but I think it's more the way. I used to pray every single day. Is it true what they tell you? Is it true I loved Didn't I sigh, make you smile? He was only a fool for a while. Now he is broke. Twas a big joke. Is it true what they tell you? Is it true I loved Is it true? Is it true? Is it true what they tell
Yeah, that was Yika. She, like I mentioned, probably it's been over a year since she came to Ladies' Night, but she used to come to Ladies' Night. She's probably still a member of the server. I don't know. But anyway, she has other songs on her YouTube channel there, which I put in the live stream voice text. She just does it, just for fun, like just her playing on her piano. I don't know if this is her or not. Let me look. Yika. So, Silver Effie, that's probably her. Yep, that's her. Anyway, yeah, she's very talented. I think Leveless. I like the piano especially, and her voice is very beautiful too. So anyway, we're here for the Flat Earth Ladies Night on May 27th, 2022. Damsel Medic is here. I haven't talked to you for a while. Hi there. And if you can't talk now, maybe you can say hi to us later. There you are.
I'm here. I haven't been here for a long time. Been very busy.
Yeah, well, it's good to see you. Glad you could make it today. What have you been doing?
Actually, working with a lot of German Shepherds right now. We got a bunch of puppies.
Nice. That sounds exciting.
Yeah, we train protection dogs and raise bloodlines for protection work and search and rescue stuff.
Have you ever heard of a Manchester Terrier?
Heard of them, don't know much about them.
Yeah, because I was reading a novel, where they were talking about a Manchester Terrier. Because they said terrier, I'm imagining like some small little dog. But then I looked it up, and because somewhere in the book they were like comparing it to a Doberman. So then I looked it up, and yeah, it kind of looks fierce like a Doberman. Yeah, like in this book, it was defending the owner and stuff like that. I'll find you. Here's a good picture.
Yeah, I know that they're big compared to like a Yorkie or anything terriers, like those size. Not.
Yeah. Yeah, I just thought they sounded cool. There's a picture one.
Yeah, I figured I'd just check in though. Yeah, they're pretty cool, aren't they? Oh.
Yeah.
They do look like somewhat like a Doberman. No.
Yeah. Yeah. Good. Well, I'm glad you're here. Yeah. Maybe we'll have some Globe believers for you to talk to. There were some here yesterday. I don't know if there's any here today.
Well, I'm going to be kind of coming and going, so if I don't get a chance to talk anymore,
Okay.
say hi to everybody. Hope you all are doing good. I'll be listening in at least.
Okay, cool.
So we'll see what happens. Thanks, Dandelion.
Yeah. And Glad Flo Bess is here. KJ, hello.
Hi, how are you?
Good. I'm glad you made the event. I saw you made it earlier in the week. That was nice.
Oh yeah. I think Gospel Bearer gave it to me in Level Up, so I thought, well, might as well take this opportunity to make it now.
Yeah, and I think when the event system started, we were all excited about it, and we kind of said, "Oh,
Yeah.
we should use it more." I don't feel like we haven't necessarily used it more. Although I made an event for tomorrow for the guy I just mentioned that somebody banned, but then I unbanned him, so he should be able to show up. Yeah, I'll have to. We'll see. You know how Globers are, but hopefully he'll actually show up for his own event.
Yeah, I was looking forward to that.
Yeah, I think we could just create events. A lot of servers have many events, like the chessboard when that used to be a server. I think they're called something else now. The Chatterbox. I don't even know if they're still around, but other servers do it like regularly. Like the Round Table does it a lot. I think it's a good thing to do. Just because we talked about that. Like doing even when you make something an event, it's like more of a focus. So like even if you had like, we're going to have Gravity Hour, because the Clovers all love to talk about gravity or something like that. Yeah. Oh yeah, Levelist. You like the used globe salesman role? I like that one too. I'm not sure who made that one. That's a more recent role. I think it's a great role too. Oh, Jones, you said there's somebody new in here. Jean Nadvornik. But okay, so yeah, we'll say hi to Level Up, and then we'll look at this Jan person. I don't know who else we have. We've got Level Up. Hello, Level Up.
Hey, what's happening? Can you hear me?
Oh, not too much. Yeah, I hear you. Yep. Yeah, I've had a very busy day. I just got home. I went and finally got the plants I wanted. I had to go far away to get them, and then we also got some new ducks and chicks. So I just ran in the door, and now here I am. So I wanted to get some cantaloupes because my son is we try to grow cantaloupes pretty much every year, but it's very hard to have a cantaloupe get to fruition in time. You know what I mean? I'm going to try this year, pinching off, because last year we had the squash and the cantaloupes were trailing all around the garden with tons of orange flowers, but then they never actually made any fruits. I think I got a pinch off some of the flowers. So they don't have so many, you know what I mean? So it puts all its energy into like one fruit or two fruits or something. I think that's what I forgot to do that I need to do. But yeah. So what have you been doing?
Oh, let's see. I did a complete reinstall of my OS in the past week, and it's going pretty well. So, mostly busy with that.
Yeah, that sounds like a big thing.
Yeah. But it went well.
Hi, I'm muting this John, Jan, Jan person. Oh, they're not muted, actually. It doesn't say they're muted. Somebody must have already unmuted them. Are you there, Jan? I'm going to try to switch over to the computer because I'm having problems with the audio here. Are you guys still there?
No.
Can you hear me?
Can you hear me?
I just heard somebody say, "Can you hear me?" Who was that?
That was me. Wasn't sure if you could
Was
hear
that
me.
you? And you just sound different on the computer. Do you know how to get it so that, sometimes it's like a grid of people's faces and then other times it's a list or like, I don't know.
Well,
Do you know how to make it not be the grid?
if you want the grid, you click on the stream that you're in. Just click on the title, the channel,
Okay.
and then you see the grid.
Okay, I see. Okay, then it came back. Okay, thank you. I've always wanted to know
Yeah.
that, and I
And then
figured out.
but then you
Now I
can't
know.
see the live stream text. So
Right. So you can click back and forth. Okay, I see that now. Okay, cool. Oh, sunny Chicago from Michigan City, Indiana Dunes. Yeah, who took that picture?
I don't know exactly.
Nice one. It's different than the ones you usually see. It's and the sunset part is nice.
Like usually I'll just do a search and then I'll just look at the images and I just find ones that are,
Yeah, it's a nice one.
way
I know only 4% of the people on this good earth live in the United States of America, but that actual shot from around Chicago to Benton Harbor, Michigan City, up to Benton Harbor, is actually the greatest proof on the entire world, that the entire earth, that we actually live on a flat and stationary plane. I was up there at the Indiana State Dunes back in 2000 or so. It was a beautiful summer day with some friends, and I got on the beach and I looked out. That's the southernmost part of Lake Michigan. I looked out and obviously you said Lake Michigan. I looked to the left and it was like, that is all of Chicago skyline right there. The whole thing, like 22, 25 miles away. If you drive, it's about 33, 35 miles away. I saw the whole thing, and I was such an indoctrinated globy fool back then. I never, ever, ever thought there should be over 200 foot, maybe 250 foot of curve between me and Chicago. So obviously I would see the Willis or Sears Tower, but some of the smaller buildings would be out of view from me. But I never, ever, ever thought, anything, because I was indoctrinated fool.
Yeah, it's an amazing sight. I know what you mean because I saw it, like decades before I became a flat earther. But you don't. I've talked about that with Quantum Eraser before. That you think now that you realize it, you realize, gosh, seems like I should have been able to figure that out. You know what I mean? Like I never sat there and thought, should I be seeing that on the globe? But we're not encouraged to do that. We're not encouraged to look at the geometry and actually figure out what it was. Or we weren't. It definitely. I mean, that was not widely available 10, 20 years ago. Now it's around a lot more. We've got Sully, who doesn't have any rules. I'll go ahead and try unmuting Sully. Hello, Sully. Are you there? And if there's anybody else who who's new that doesn't have roles, you can ask us to unmute you. We've got Hatsune Miku. I'll try unmuting Hatsune Miku if you are able to say hello. But it's easier, actually, if you go up to the VC, check in, then you can just have a short interview, like if you don't want to talk on the live stream in front of everyone, and then you can get the VC verified role. And then you'll be able to not only unmute yourself, but also see the live stream voice text channel, which you currently can't see, which is the channel that goes along with this live stream. You can't see it unless you have the VC verified role. So even if you don't feel like talking, it's worth it to get the role, because you can see that channel. Plus, there's other channels you can see that you can't see when you don't have any roles. So anyway, if you decide, anyone who's in the live stream or listening on YouTube, if you're not actually a member of the Discord server, you can join the Discord server by typing in your browser discord.gg/flat earth, and that will take you right here, and then we can get you the role. If you go to the VC check-in voice text, which is not far under the lobby, and ping a mod gold or silver, then they can give you a short 5-minute interview just to make sure you're willing to follow the rules and that you're not somebody who's going to come on the live stream and say all kinds of ridiculous, inappropriate, vulgar stuff or anything like that, that you're actually here to have a conversation about the flat earth, which is why we're here. So, yeah, I was going to say, because is Jonathan W., is that also, are you Cyberblitz? I'll just type in there. You have the same picture as Cyberblitz. I don't know if you're the same person or you just changed your name.
Hey, Matthew, Denzel Washington here. I just sent you a new meme that me and my boys, my posse just put together at 29 minutes after the hour. So it's just for you, Matthew. My main man, master's man, Matthew.
Thank you.
We also have Shibby. So I'm just unmuting these people. If at some point you guys decide to talk, that's fine. But Shibby might actually be talking. Are you there, Shibby? Otherwise, I'll have to mute you again if you don't realize you're unmuted, because I'm just hearing music. Okay, they muted themselves. That's good. There's a bunch of people in here. You guys were right. Somebody typed there's a bunch of no role people here. Wizzy is here. Wizzy says in their About Me section that they are a genius. So look at that. Most geniuses don't want to advertise that fact, but you chose to, so that's wonderful. Wizzy? Hi there. Are you able to speak? Or are you just going to laugh? Okay, I'll just mute you again if you don't want to actually speak. Okay, so Wizzy, I just muted you. I understand how it is when you're having like a laughing fit or something, or you could also have chosen to be yourself. We don't know what you're finding, so I'm using. So when you're able to speak, tag me in the lobby, or just even better, go up to the VC check-in so you can get the role, so you can understand what the server's about, and so we can make sure you're not just a troll and so on. So yeah, the reason I asked about Cyberblitz, because I was just reading what he wrote there at 21 minutes after the hour, which I think was a comment on what Jim said, which is Jonathan says, I was wanting comment on what Witsit was saying several hours ago about truthers calling anyone a shill who's making money as a flat earther. I don't find that surprising, since calling everyone a shill is part of truther culture, which I would have put culture in quotation marks. I was writing that. Eric Dubé has a shill list, and now he is called a shill for having a big YouTube channel and selling merch. The community seems to destroy their own like SJWs do, LOL. Yeah, I agree. Like people want to make money off it, by all means. You know what I mean? Like I don't think like many people are making like a ton of money off of flat earth. Maybe some people are, but yeah, I don't think making money makes you shill. In fact, if anything, it probably makes you like, maybe for some of the big names, but for most of it probably makes them less likely, right? Because if you're actually getting paid to do this, which is what a show would be doing, right? In theory, I guess, although some of them seem to do it for free. Why would you need to sell the merchandise? I don't know. But anywho, let's see if we've got anything else going on here. Oh, Sonny, you're saying the guy sounded like you. Is it you? Okay, so we heard nothing from that guy except laughing. Is there anybody else we haven't tried? If there's anybody who's got a question about the flat earth, that's why we're supposed to be here, people. So just speak up. This is ladies' night. It's a good time to ask your questions. It's a good time for beginners to get their questions answered about the flat earth. Or, I mean, I don't mean beginners in a bad way, people who are new to the concept. That probably is a better way to put it. Howard is here and VC Verified. Hello there, Howard.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm doing all right. Yesterday was my first day on the server.
Oh, okay. So happy second day on the server.
Yeah, thanks. It was
How
interesting.
Did you find it?
It was a short night. I think we wrapped up around 5 a.m.
Okay, yeah.
Well, I
How
think I
did you
found
end up
it.
finding the server?
Oh, I think I saw a 4chan post where someone said something about we're being lied to, and they linked a bunch of YouTube videos that I'd already seen. But at the bottom of it was a link to a podcast, and it was the podcast. There was some recordings from the server, I imagine, and I listened to about I don't know, maybe close to 10 of them, and I really liked what you guys were saying, and so I thought I'd join the Discord.
Wow! Too bad Indio's not here. Indio's the one who puts out one of our admin who puts out the podcast. So he'll be happy to hear that because I know,
Oh, cool.
like that kind of thing. You don't always know like who's listening or if it's actually reaching anyone. But he did tell me not that long ago that it was like growing in audience. When he like looks at how many people have listened to it and that kind of thing. Well, yeah, this one is the Spotify version. Did you listen to it on Spotify or is that what you said?
No, iTunes. Yeah, or
iTunes,
Apple
iTunes,
Podcast. Yeah, I don't think I would have joined the Discord if it wasn't if I wasn't able to preview it and listen to a couple of those recordings. I usually just don't join a Discord just to join one. So that was pretty good to get a feel of it and to see, like the different points that were brought up in debate and how you guys were debating, and maybe I thought I could possibly contribute a little bit. And so it's also really nice to meet like-minded people, because I think it's pretty difficult, or it has been pretty difficult for me at least, to find people to talk to about this type of stuff in real life, that is.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, I mean that's definitely the case. I have the same situation. I don't know. Maybe it's for people who live in cities. Maybe it's easier, but yeah, like I live in the middle of nowhere, and yeah, it's impossible. Not only difficult, impossible as far as I can tell. I still haven't found anyone.
Yeah.
But anyway, yeah. So, what is your position on the Earth? What is your opinion upon the globe, for example?
Well, I wouldn't say I'm 100% sold either way. I'm trying to stay open-minded to it, but I never really thought about it until 2016 or so, when I came across, I think you guys had mentioned Eric Dubay a couple minutes ago, and I'd watched a couple of his videos, and I was like, well, shit, this is weird. And I guess the deeper that I looked into it, the more I was like, wow, I don't think that I really do have that much concrete evidence of my own to stand on to show that it's curved. And there seems to be quite a bit of evidence that it's not. And I tried to prove it false. I tried to prove the flat Earth false, and I couldn't. And that kind of led me to this path of, my God, it might be flat. I think if I had to guess, my current position is that it's like an infinite plane of existence in all directions. That would probably be, if I had to pick one theory, that's kind of where I'm at.
No one's ever demonstrated infinity in physical reality, so there's no reason to think it exists.
That it doesn't exist, or that it exists?
Well, since no one's ever demonstrated it and we've never seen it occur naturally, there's no reason to believe it exists.
You can say indefinite. You don't know.
Sure. I mean, yeah, I think if it's easier for me to kind of go into that space, and then I don't have to ponder the container question. It's like, well, what contains the thing that we would be in or on right now? And so just, because I guess if you think of the globe model, And you think of the universe, and it's like, oh, well, where's, in physics class growing up, it's like, well, where's the end of the universe? It's like, well, there isn't one. It's just infinite in all directions. And so, yeah, I guess for right now, my it's more agnostic. Like I don't really know, but maybe it goes on forever.
Well, that's actually not part of the heliocentric model. I mean, it's in essence the heliocentric model, but it's not technically what they say. They say that they claim that there is an edge to the universe, but at this current moment, it's expanding outward faster than the speed of light, so you'll never catch up with it. Which is, so it's in essence that, but sure. I guess it's one and the same. I don't know. It's just a big fairy tale anyway. Okay.
I mean, if you were to follow that line of logic, though, with them, I guess the question would be, well, if there's an edge to the universe, then what contains that edge of the universe? What is on that, the very cusp of that? More universe? I don't know. Anyways, long story short. Yeah. Oh, okay. Well, anyway, yeah. I mean, my brother is a math and physics graduate from Purdue, and I've gotten into some pretty heated arguments with him about these things, and he just refuses to talk to me about it. So that's interesting. But I have a really supportive girlfriend who's very smart, and she's entertained it quite a few times. And I think her where she came out on it. Maybe she's going to be home here in a little bit. Maybe I'll bring her on since it's ladies' night. But she independently came up with this giant ice ball theory. Maybe you guys have seen this. No.
Giant ice ball.
Well, I don't have picture upload or picture posting capabilities yet, but yeah, because her proposition was, she's like, well, what if it's flat and curved at the same time? And her theory was that we could be on this disk that is melted out of that ring of ice, but that ring of ice is actually on a giant Earth, and that it's a giant ice ball. And so what we experience is a localized melted plate, which would be flat for us, but that we are on a giant floating ice ball in space, and that maybe there's multiple Earths, if you will, that are melted with a localized sun floating above them on that giant ice ball. So I thought that was interesting. If you Google here, I can look it up real quick.
You're going way out now. You're going way too far out now.
And
Level Up has something to say. Go ahead, Level Up.
Yeah, I mean, my question would be, why would we think it must be a giant ice ball? It could be an ice square, it could be an ice cube. There's no reason to make it a ball at that point.
Well,
I mean,
yeah, I agree. But I think for her, what it is, and the way she explained it to me, was that it's easier for her to not abandon all the things that she, air quotes, knows. And so if she can maintain gravity and maintain, this ball floating in space, and so forth, and still have, all of these proofs that the Earth is flat, or what we experience is flat, then that was like a baby step for her to consume. I'm gonna try to post a picture here of the model, and I'm not saying that this is necessarily what I subscribe to. I'm just bringing it up because she's my girlfriend and it's ladies' night, and I'm not a lady. But here, I just posted it.
You can get her in here. We would love to see her. If you can get her in here, we'd love to talk to her.
Yeah,
I think that it's common, like when people here are going to be like kind of resistant to the concept of like, it's probably this thing, it's probably that thing, only because, but I think that's more common when you're like first getting into it. And because part of it's because we're conditioned that like everything must be explained because they tell us, that everything has been explained with this heliocentric model, even though it hasn't been. Like it takes a while to get used to the idea. Yeah, we might not actually know and might not be able to find out because we're restricted in our travel and so on. So like what we end up doing around here is most of the time we're very busy with just demonstrating that the globe is an impossibility. You know, there's absolutely zero chance that we're on a globe of the radius of 3,959 miles, as
Right.
people claim. Like, very rarely can we even get past that with new people, so that, like, we, for that reason, like, we are often, like, laser focused on disproving the globe and not, like, speculating a ton about could it be this thing or could it be that thing, because, and I think it often is tempting, to try to shoehorn, like, or to find like a middle ground, because it is a difficult thing to give up the globe, because it's so entrenched in our minds and in our culture that it's almost like people want an excuse, like, that is just too big of a thing to, like, give up the globe and outer space. But there's
Right.
we have no reason, there's no evidence of outer space. I mean, did the guys yesterday talk to you about why the outer space as presented being vacuum or near vacuum is a complete impossibility, especially if you're going to go with this infinite Earth thing? I mean, if you're going to try to say we're uncontained, you can't also have your ice ball or whatever. So, and there's a lot of many things that indicate container. No one here is going to say, yes, there's definitely container, but rainbows, the Elves Sprite, which is an electrical phenomenon, a lot of other things about electrical phenomenon and so on, do indicate a contained environment, but we're not, like, wedded to any of those things because we can't conclusively prove them. So we just try to stick with things that can be demonstrably proved or falsified. So yeah, that's pretty much it. But if she could come in here, that would be great.
Yeah, she should be home in maybe 15, 20 minutes or so. But yeah, I really like that, and I think that's really hard for people to do, because they want to hold on to all those other things that they know, and when this one thing stands in their face, they're like, well, but I know this, and I know this, and I know this, and so what you're saying can't be true. And to figure out a way to just and I struggle with this with all different types of categories of controversial topics with people, but it's like, if you could just get people to let go of all the things that they think they know, kind of empty your mind so it's not already so filled. You can't fill a cup that's already filled, kind of situation. If we could find a way to do that, because even in the podcasts, when a lot of people come in, they just come in and they're so sure of themselves and they know so much that it's like you almost can't tell them anything. And I can hear the frustration in your guys' voice, and I found myself kind of frustrated last night too, talking about it. There's just like a sense of curiosity that I wish people could find themselves in when they come to a place like this, and not so defensive and kind of coming in with their claws already out.
The most famous astronaut of them all from
Okay,
Purdue
Jim, I'm going to ask you, please, I've allowed this like several times now. Please, we have many ladies here. They're perfectly capable of carrying on this conversation. Seriously, I mean, does any other lady want to comment on this, or or I can? It's really frustrating.
Yeah, I'm glad you stepped in. I hate to do that, but I'm sorry about the voice. I've been kind of dealing with a sore throat. But the problem, I think, besides not wanting to let go, is not having any good thinking skills. And I don't mean that to say people are stupid. I mean it to say they don't have any practice with reasoning things through. You know what I mean? Where some basic logic or well, if this is true, then does it really answer the question, or does it raise another one? That sort of thing, not just curiosity, but just thinking through logical sequences, if that makes sense.
Oh, sure, definitely. Yeah. I think a lot of people have abandoned their own critical thinking skills these days. That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, so in that regard, what I would say is, okay, why are we trying to put Earth in something bigger? Why isn't Earth it? That's the question I would ask. And we can sidestep the gravity issue because it doesn't have anything to do with Earth shape. It really doesn't.
Yeah. Yeah, we got to that last night. That was a heavy topic. Yeah.
And it's only necessary for ball Earth theory for the heliocentric system because they need it for things to orbit around each other. But since they've over 100 years ago abandoned mass attracting mass, then what do they think gravity is? They think it's the curvature of space-time. Well, why do we need everything to be ball-shaped for the curvature of space-time, which you can't do anyway because space is nothing and time is a concept. So there is no such thing as space-time that can be bent.
Hey, can I quickly say something to this guy? What I was going to say is, so there is space in matter, but there's not matter in space. So there's space between you and I, but there's air between you and I. So it's not a vacuum between you and I. So there's space and matter, but there's not matter in space. There's not a vacuum of space out there where there's just balls of matter falling around each other.
Okay.
Okay, we've got Stoned here. He's asking for the critical thinker tag. So, Stoned, why don't you let us know some more about yourself, how you found the server? What's your opinion about the globe? Hello there. Stoned, are you able to speak? Maybe he can't talk. He's in the voice text. Okay, well, you can try to earn the. Oh, he said he can't speak. Yeah, you can try to earn the critical thinking tag. I don't know. Demonstrate some critical thinking. Just why don't you tell us your position of the globe? That'd be a good start. What is your position regarding the globe model? Just answer that in text. That'll be your first test to see whether you can get the critical thinking roll or not. Yeah, I try not to be like, I don't know, it's like, I don't care, like, if somebody has something they just are dying to say, it feels like they have to say it, but it's like, half the time when the guys jump in level up, it makes me feel like they think we can't handle it, you know what I mean? And I don't know if I'm just, thinking that, but that's what it seems like half the time, like, oh, these ladies couldn't possibly handle explaining why we don't have a model, so I'm gonna jump in and do it, I don't know, but anywho, let's see. Who else do we have here? Several people went into the check-in with Flatty. I don't know if any of them came down here. Flatty's deafened, so I can't ask him.
Dandelion, did you say that the song that was playing last was a singer that you know? The song is like, "Is It True?"
Yeah, she's a member of the server. Yeah, I'll put the link up.
Yeah, could you? That was a really beautiful song. It was like right as I
she's
logged
very
on.
talented. Yeah, Yika, she's a European. I'll put the link to that song, and then that will help you to see her channel because she has other Flat Earth songs there. And if you like Flat Earth music in general, like we have quite a bit, we can share with you from different, some people who are members of the server or some people who aren't, but there's a lot of Flat Earth music out there. So you're relatively new to the conversation then?
Yeah, contributing. Yeah, I guess I've just been consuming for maybe 5 or 6 years, on and off, I would say.
Oh, okay.
But I've never joined in. This is my first time joining in. So.
But you came at it kind of from like other truth movements. Is that what you were saying?
Well, I mean, yeah. I mean, there's. I got a whole list of stuff that I'm pretty skeptical about. I think it kind of started with a 9/11 stuff, and then Iraq War stuff, and I'm like, man, I think these people are lying to us. It led one thing to another, and so my mind was pretty open to a lot of things by the time that I reached the flat Earth idea. So yeah.
Yeah, that's what, because we were just talking about this yesterday in terms of like, the availability of the flat earth information and how it's become way more available. And I think now even more than when I really decided to make up my mind about it. I first started reading about it like 6 years ago. And then 3 years ago, I'm like, I got to decide one way or the other on this thing because it kept coming up and I hadn't seen the geometry yet because some people discuss the flat earth. And I think old Jude said that this ice ball thing is a flat earth society thing, which makes sense to me because and that's the thing I wanted to say in general about the whole model thing, which one of the reasons why it took me so long to even get to the math of it, which makes it indisputable that this globe is completely smashed to smithereens, is because when I first did a search to find information, I went to the Flat Earth Society forum. And what they do there is they present different models like the two you mentioned earlier. And then in their forum, they argue back and forth. Oh, no, it can't be a giant ice ball because this, that, and the other. Oh, no, it's got to be a disk going up through space. Oh, it's got to be this thing, that thing. And that
Oh,
is
right.
all they do. And so that's
I've
what
seen the
I thought
disk.
Flat Earth
Yeah.
was.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The disk
And
flying through
so I didn't
space, and
even
that's what causes gravity, right?
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so, yeah, I didn't even realize until coming to this server. And when I first came here, I didn't even still understand, like, why do people not want us to have a model or like get upset about the concept? But I totally get it now that I can see the bigger picture, that is why I was led astray, because I stopped looking into it because it was like, oh, I have to figure out exactly what it is in order to definitively get off the globe model. But I remember being in the mindset because that is the mindset that kind of organization, like the Flat Earth Society, puts you in, and it is understandable and kind of even natural that coming off of this supposed thing where everything's static and explained, everything's been explored, and maybe if you're lucky, you'll get to go to Mars one day. But everything on Earth is already figured out. Don't worry about it, guys. Then you want to figure everything out too on this new thing, and they come. That's what some of these globers that are not capable of using logic or understanding falsification. That really all you have to do is falsify the globe model. Like that's really all you got to do these days. They make it pretty easy by clinging to that. It's like, yeah, guys, that's definitely not here. There's no evidence of it. Like we don't have to do your work for you and figure all this other stuff out. That's what you're supposed to be doing with your $1 billion budget. But anyway, that's, people, because they're still in that mindset, they want to cling on to another thing that explains everything. And like you said, Howard, it's hard to
Do you
just
think that would help
sometimes
them?
accept that you don't know everything.
Yeah, totally. Do you think that would help convert other people or help other people understand if they, instead of just disproving that there's a curve, but instead of just that, but presenting a more complete model as the answer? Do you think that would help people? Because I think, from what it sounds like to me, like a lot of people are kind of left with like, well, if it's flat, then how does this work? And how does that work? And how does this work?
Oh, I don't think it would help. I don't think that's, we're not in the business of conversion. And two, those are people should not, those are the wrong questions to ask. I mean, people come in here and ask it, and try to imply that if you do not, if you're not able to explain everything and in great detail, the way the pseudoscientist, magician, entertainers, aka called mainstream scientists, do it, then you're not good enough. Like that's fine,
Right,
guys.
right.
If you want some magician to explain everything, then just stay on the globe. That's perfectly fine. Like we're not here to fix you. We're not here to replace your fantasy with a new one. Like, just get back down to earth here and just see what's right in front of you. And you see too far. We don't live on a globe. If somebody wants to explore something else, that's fine, but it's better just to, generally, science is a specialized field where if we have people in here who do different experiments in terms of like about electricity, magnetism. If someone wants to go exploring, be my guest. I mean, people can do whatever they want to do. Long distance photography is a good way to demonstrate the failure of the globe model. We don't have to come up with a comprehensive model. Like, why should we? We didn't put out the first one that clearly doesn't work.
Yeah, no, that makes sense.
Yeah, I think if anybody wants to get a word out, the first thing they do is get people's attention by asking questions. They'll say, does this make sense to you? Can you explain? Or, and get the conversation started. But most people really don't care. Most people don't want to think about any of this stuff. They don't, didn't pay attention to a lot of stuff in school anyway. They're just like, yeah, this is what we see on TV, and I don't care. And somebody does have to be curious, and you do have to help them sometimes by asking the right questions. To take a line from iRobot, you must ask the right questions. And people don't even know what questions to ask half the time. So I think that's a good approach to start without being a pushy salesperson, is to raise some questions that helps to know your audience as well, knowing who you're talking to, what is the best hook or avenue to bring it up and get them to ask things.
Well, Wizzy the Giggler is VC verified now, so maybe he was one of the people that talked to Flatty. I'm laughing about Central's comment. Prime directive, don't interfere with their space delusions. That's right. Are you there, Wizzy? Are you ready to talk now? Explain, demonstrate your genius. Well, if you end up being able to talk, Wizzy, and you would like to talk, let us know. If you have a question, speak up. About Panda. Hi there, Panda.
What am I being asked?
Welcome to the server. How did you find us?
Hello. I think I don't remember. I joined like a few weeks ago. I just searched up like Flat Earth Discord server or something like that, and then I joined.
Oh, okay, so what inspired you to search those words, Flat Earth?
Well, a lot of people kind of think like Flat Earth is a cuckoo, you know what I mean? I just wanted to like check to see if that was true or not. I mean, I don't really see anyone who's like crazy in the server or anything, but like, I don't know. Like, from my point of view...
Level Up has a cuckoo clock if you're lucky. Yeah. Oh, it's probably ringing right now. Level Up.
Oh, you just missed it. Right it started going when I muted. Sorry.
You got a cuckoo clocks? Bruh. That's like... Do you not use digital?
I have actual other kinds of clocks. It's just something I got in Germany back in '76. Hangs on my wall.
Yeah, I don't think flat earthers are cuckoo though, Panda. So I'm glad that you agree with me. But that I agree with you. That is the propaganda,
yeah.
Some areas, yeah.
I mean, it is fair enough, like it is like just a scientific point of view.
It is a what? Did you say? I couldn't understand you.
Like a scientific point of view.
The scientific point of view, yes, shows that the globe is a complete lie and does not exist.
Your scientific point of view, you know what I mean, though.
That's right. Yeah, we use actual science here. That's why we're definitively not cuckoo.
I was just like wondering, so the flat Earth community, like, I'd say like it's quite small scale compared to like other sort of scientific ideologies. Like, do you know why that is? Because I presume like a lot of people would study like science, and figure it out by now as well.
Well, I think there's a lot of reasons. Maybe Level Up could give an answer too, because that's a very good question. That's one of the better questions we've had in a long time.
Do you think it's due to propaganda, or at least what you call propaganda?
Of course, yeah. I mean, it's not just like it isn't even just direct propaganda, like you're discussing, like flat earthers are retards, flat earthers are idiots, they're stuck in the Stone Age, or Obama, saying we don't have time for we don't have time for a meeting of the Flat Earth Society. Like, it's, direct attacks on flat Earth, are common, but the thing of it is that the propaganda is much deeper than that, because over the past 20 to 30 years, what science actually is has completely changed, to the point where, you have all these people thinking they are, doing science, or they're fans of science, or let's science together, when what they're doing has nothing to do with the scientific method, which is what we adhere to here, is the traditional scientific method, where you make a natural observation, you develop a hypothesis based on your background knowledge and that observation. Then you develop an experiment with an independent and dependent variable clearly defined and conditions clearly defined. You write down your procedure so that it can be replicated by someone else. Then you test a cause and effect relationship based on that natural observation. Then you return to your original hypothesis, and you decide whether your observation or test upholds the hypothesis or falsifies the hypothesis. If it falsifies the hypothesis, you can either throw out that hypothesis entirely, or if you think there's still some worth, if it has some worth to it, you can modify it and then test again. If it seems to uphold your
This is like
hypothesis,
flat
you have
Earth ASMR
proven.
now, man.
I'm almost done. If it holds your hypothesis, you have not proven anything. You have given credence to that idea, which then, of course, needs to be tested and repeated by other scientists in order to make it accepted. So it has nothing to do with what most people call science. When you take the globe has nothing to do with science. The globe is a mathematical alleged model, which models nothing, predicts nothing, explains nothing, and in fact fails when you test it in reality, because we see too far. So why do you think I say we see too far, Panda?
Sorry, repeat that.
Why do you think I said we see too far?
I don't know.
Okay, great. That's a great answer. So yeah, Sunny has Sunny's put into the voice text. Can you see the live stream voice text there, Panda? Have you seen that?
Yeah.
That goes along with this one. Okay, yeah. So that one is the Canigou long distance observations, which I'll have to open it up to find all the numbers on here. They're like hundreds of miles. I mean, they're like extremely far distance observations. The one I'm more familiar with is the Chicago observation. You probably weren't here when we were talking about it earlier. And then we also have the Black Swan observations. I mean, we have like so many. Okay, I'm just going to start by giving you the link to the.
Do you think the majority
every
of people
single one of these every one of these observations are impossible? I'm almost done with this little statement here. Every single one of these, this last link from 6 minutes after the hour, are impossible on a globe with the dimensions claimed. So, the things would be hidden around the side of this alleged Earth based on the exact rate of curvature that they give us, which can be determined by the exact radius that they give us. So they gave us math. We tested reality, and it fails because those things are in view, such as the city of Chicago from across Lake Michigan, such as the Canigou, which Sunny put up there, such as every single observation, Calais from Dover, everything you see, Catalina Island, that you see at this link. We just see things that objectively would not be seen if we were on this globe. So we're just not on it. I mean, it's a matter of whether you can use your reason and ignore, social pressure, propaganda, groupthink, and actually just accept reality the way it is, or not. And most people can't. That's our experience here. Like way over, I don't know what percentage, coming into the Discord, which I think that sample is maybe skewed because they are people in general who spend more time on a computer and don't spend time in the real world. But, people can't let go of their globe. Yeah. So propaganda, that's my answer.
Well, do you think the majority of people who do these like scientific observations and stuff, like do sort of the same kind of studies that you're talking about, also come to the conclusion that there's like a flat Earth if they're highly educated as well?
Oh Yeah. Oh, yeah. They don't have to be sitting here on Discord talking about it. I mean, we know the military, uses the Earth as flat and stationary. Many pilots understand the Earth is flat and stationary. That's how they, engineers, people who build railroads, bridges, and so on, never take any curvature into account. Yeah. I mean, many people use the Earth as flat and stationary. We can show you government documents, many government documents where they treat the Earth as flat and stationary. They don't use this alleged Coriolis effect when you're a military sniper trying to, shoot something. You don't take the curvature. You don't take Coriolis into effect. The Marconi gave his transmission at, I think that was 10,000 miles. Globe never taken into account. Not taken into account for submarines. With their sonar, not taken into account for anything ever. People will say it is, but in reality, it's not. So yeah, many people realize this. Most people don't care enough or don't have time or don't want to deal with the social stigma to actually talk about it. But yeah, of course, a lot of people do.
So
Just like
is that
many people know 911. You got pilots and engineers for 911 Truth. I mean, that know that obviously that was an explosion, that, planes don't melt steel, or cause a fire to that extent. I mean, many intelligent people know that most of the mainstream, propaganda stories are complete nonsense, of course.
okay? So it's like you're saying it's an independent point of view and a governmental point of view as well. Like if you're doing the scientific studies and stuff like that, you determine the Earth is flat.
I don't know. Like, for example, we had a guy on here that was in the military that said, when he was in training and, during the sniper training, he asked, like, why don't we have to take, curvature of Coriolis into effect? And the guy just winked at him and said, because the Earth is flat. I mean, yeah, it's mostly these people who, we see them in here all the time, who have given their brains away to the television and think that, people who get on there, pseudoscientific entertainers like Bill Nye, Neil deGrasse Tyson, Michio Kaku, all these NASA clowns, that they actually know something just because they got put on the TV. I mean, it's like the easiest thing in the world. They've just pulled the wool over all these people's eyes. But once you get, people who are in careers, they're to a point where, yeah, we're just treating it as flat and stationary. That's obviously what we're doing. Like, I guess most people don't even care enough, right, about what other people are thinking to care that this clown show's going on and that you have all these people deceived and just following along like sheep and watching their cartoons and their minds completely lost.
I mean, yeah, because they just think it's a shape,
Yeah, I mean, I think it's very important. I think we should not have an education system where we're teaching children lies.
And plus, it sort of expands onto more stuff as well, wouldn't it? So there's more lies if they're just not just lying about the Earth being flat, I mean being round. Sorry.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, they're full of lies. Yeah, I mean, I don't believe a thing they say. Why should I?
Yeah.
Well, can I digress a little bit? I was just watching this. They have these automatic stories, I guess, that come up on your YouTube and shit. And so the algorithm recommends you shit, and then it was recommending this some sort of trial with Johnny Depp or whatever. And so I'm looking at it, I start watching it, right? And basically people are going into depth of well, if you watch the video in this angle, you can see that it's edited and you can see what this happening here is not true and whatever. And the whole time I was thinking to myself, if we just had a fraction of the attention to detail of this court case on the moon landings, it would be blown wide open. I was just looking at it, and they were the amount of video analysis they were doing on this video of Johnny Depp and this fucking video of his wife or whatever, and seeing how it's edited. I was like, dude, you don't even have to do 1/10 of this work to fucking see that the fucking moon landing shit is a hoax. It's fucking, I don't know, dude. I was like, wow. Wow, you can put this much effort into bullcrap, but not into the most important event of all history, eh? Okay, right. And we just forgot the telemetry data.
Noah, I totally agree with you. If you could just, next time you speak, try to, especially on Ladies' Night, try to cut down on the vulgarity. That would be great, because it would get your point across way better.
I didn't realize it was ladies' night. I asked, but nobody responded.
Oh no, that's totally cool. Okay, yeah, it is, but that's cool. No, I totally. Yeah.
Never mind.
No, I agree with what you're saying. That I mean, that's the sad thing is that we, the resources that could be put into some of the stuff would be just amazing. I mean, we have a lot of people, amateurs,
Yo, I'm gonna go now.
who are just doing things on their own. But yeah, it's if actually, it would just be blown wide open. I mean, if this world, if we started doing like real science again, can you imagine like kind of stuff people could discover? That would be great. But yeah, we don't, very rarely is anyone actually advancing any kind of science. I mean, they advance technology and some people think that's scientific, but like what kind of like real natural science is really being advanced right now? Like very, very little.
Just computer science.
Well, they also confuse science and engineering a lot of times because engineering is stuff that works. They take basic principles, like somebody, at one point, quote unquote, discovers electricity, and then somebody else discovers that certain things conduct it better than others, and it's a kind of a series of just coming across things that have certain properties, and then engineers will take that and make something useful with it. Like Tesla was kind of both, but he was more an engineer than a scientist. He would say this is how electricity works. Mainly his focus was electricity. And so he, as an engineer, made it of practical use and actually proved concepts by putting them into reality. And when people say, well, we live on the ball because scientists told us, they don't think about asking the quote-unquote scientists how they actually measured the Earth, and then they'll get calculations and say, and people don't know to ask, well, no, I said measurements, not calculations. You can theorize and extrapolate all you want, but if you start with certain presumptions, then you're going to end with certain preconceived conclusions or foregone conclusions, and that's what the Flat Earth community is about, is trying to dig under the surface and go, this is what you've assumed. Of course you can, through circular reasoning, you're going to come to the conclusion you wanted. But if you look at it objectively and actually ask for measurements instead of calculations and theories and extrapolations, that's where I think a lot of us finally realize it wasn't so hard to let go, because there isn't anything there to hold on to.
Oh, too bad we lost Panda, because I was going to ask you if you wanted to answer his question, but now I can't even remember what his question was.
Yeah, I don't know.
About why they hide it, or how they hide it, or why would they lie? I don't know. But
he just dropped last time you were talking. He just kind of said, I got to go.
Yeah, that's cool. Maybe he'll be back. He seemed like a laid-back guy. Paige is here. Paige is ladies' night. Yeah, I got it. Do you know Paige? Level up.
If it's someone from YouTube, I know the name.
Okay, well, maybe Paige can't talk right now, but if you ever do want to speak up, there's saying hi to us in the text. So yeah, if you ever feel like speaking up, Paige, by all means, feel free.
What I need is something to clear my throat. I hate it when it gets crappy. I drink plenty of liquids.
How about a cup of tea?
I had some, and I've had
didn't work.
Vitamin C, and I take other supplements.
Have you ever tried this tea called Throat Coat?
No, I normally drink something called Rooibos or Rooibos, depending on who you ask, because I can't have caffeine, and my husband can't have oxalates, and Rooibos has neither of those, so that's what we drink.
This throat coat tea, that really does help my throat when I have a problem. I think it has licorice in it. I'm pretty sure. I have to look and see. Maybe I'll say it.
Not a fan of licorice.
You don't like licorice?
No.
Oh, then you wouldn't like this.
Oh, sorry, but thanks for trying.
Yeah.
No, I just never liked licorice.
Oh yeah, licorice is the #1 ingredient, 760 mg. Yep, you wouldn't be into that.
No, I do put honey in my tea though, natural honey.
Oh yeah, honey's good for you.
So.
Yeah, I have my children just like have a spoonful of honey sometimes too. You know, ever do that?
Yeah. Well, and I'll eat soup and things and all that, but it doesn't always seem to help. I don't know. There doesn't seem to be any rhyme or reason why my voice is clear sometimes and sometimes it isn't. Now, lately, though, I have had a sore throat, so. Anyway.
Oh, yeah, Central wants to know what happened with Panda. He did not spiral. I don't know. I felt like he was not. Didn't seem that upset about it. I don't know. I mean, we didn't really get enough of a response from him. I don't know.
If it was a spiral, it was a really slow one. It seemed like he was asking the standard or putting up the standard objections, but not really sticking to anything, kind of, like a butterfly going from one flower to the next. I don't know. A slow-mo spiral.
Yeah. And I think people, I don't know what the statistics are if like people don't have we were talking about this with Kermit yesterday, the day before, like people who like he obviously had never been around like people who have academic jobs or like, scientific jobs and so on. Like I think they have this weird view that like the stuff you see on TV has some relation to like what an individual scientist would do, every day. And it's just like, they aren't like out there like making breakthroughs or wonderful. They're just like doing some little thing, like measuring some aspect of like how this particular, drug affects this monkey or, or whatever. Like they're not like, you're not going to go out there and be like, I'm a scientist and I've discovered this thing or that thing. Because, I talked about that the other day. I don't know, remember when that wasn't Ladies' Night, I guess, about our friend who was a scientist. And he had all kinds of crazy views. What the world would call crazy, alternative views, like knew the main landings were fake and so on. But he's not like at his job. He's a PhD scientist. He's not out there being like, hey, guys, did you know the moon landings are fake? Because, like, why? Same reason, you don't cast your pearls before swine. You don't have to go around. Like, that's the way I look. I know some people on here do. Like, Jen says he talks about to everyone with Laundromat. Obviously, Witsit talks to everyone. But, like, what, like, we're not, I don't. Like, I just don't. Like, why would I? I didn't set this thing up. Why should I go out there and take arrows from people, because I know, I'll do it occasionally if it has to do with my children. I think I've told you guys about that before. Like I wrote a letter about how ridiculous I thought it was that our homeschool co-op was focusing on space for the entire science class. Like, yeah, I'm not afraid to tell the people. I wrote them an entire, essay about why outer space was obviously a scientific impossibility and so on. But like if it does, I don't care. Those people didn't care, and they're not going to. Like if it's a ethical situation, like I have to make my statement about it, and I will. But like, I don't, it's not my job to fix the mess that these people have made by creating this gigantic lie, which is clearly, being backed up by billions of dollars. So if someone's interested, I'll talk to them. But like, I'm not gonna put myself out there. I do on Discord, I guess you could say. But like in real life, why should I run around trying to undo their mess when half the people prefer to stay in the globe delusion? That's obvious. And then they're just gonna, take it out on you or your children if you aren't going along with the program here. I don't know. That's my point of view. But my point is, I'm not even like that the way most people are. I actually do come out here and talk about it. I did write that letter, which most people wouldn't do. I'll tell you, the vast majority of people are just doing their little job. Even if they figure it out, they're not saying a word to nobody. Yeah,
Yeah, there's so many other things that, like, just picking the school system, so-called school system, you could, it is so full of nonsense at this point. There's a mass exodus from the schools because of anybody who cares about their children knows that they're not there to be educated anymore. And it really shouldn't be a surprise because I remember reading years ago about the Humanist Association or whatever it was called with John Dewey, the founder of the U.S. school system model, which was Prussian basically. And the humanists said that they saw the public schools as an indoctrination, even a religion, and that the teachers were priests of a new godless religion, and that they would take your children away from you, from their parents, and keep them in school all day, give them lots of homework, lots of extracurricular activities, so that their parents and family wouldn't influence them, and they would be raised by the state and their peers, and that they couldn't, the parents and peers, or the parents couldn't compete with this 5-day indoctrination plan. And so they said this back in the 50s or 60s. And so this is just the thing coming to a head. This is, the fruit ripening of that whole educational paradigm. And so it's everything. It's the whole, nuclear family. Got to get rid of that. Got to get rid of the influence of any kind of, especially religious thought. Make the state their god. Make the scientists their priests. The textbooks, their sacred text, their scriptures. And they did it deliberately, and that's what they planned.
Can I say something, Paula?
No, but go ahead.
I just wanted to say I second everything you just said.
Well, thanks. It's just, I wish it was common knowledge, but sadly it's not.
Dandelion, what was the response to the letter you sent about space?
I said, I said, well, we aren't going to be, I won't, if you continue, to have the science program be based on outer space, I can't ethically allow my children to participate this year. Hope we'll see you next year. And their response to my, I think it was 2 or 3 pages about, the scientific reasons, as well as these people supposedly follow the Bible. So I threw the biblical reasons in there too. Their response was, oh, sorry to hear you won't be joining us. We'll see you next year. Yeah, no response to anything I actually said. No dispute, nothing, But they're a bunch of ladies, they all. I'm sorry, Level Up's probably going to be mad, but you don't know these ladies. They let their husband do the thinking, and they're just, I'm sorry. None of them are here, so I can say that. But yeah, that's what these ladies are like. So yeah, no response, no substantive response. So I didn't feel bad about taking my kids out of there because I don't want my children taught by somebody who can't even answer a scientific. I mean, I even put my degrees on there, and none of these ladies have a scientific degree, you know what I mean? And just nothing. So, anywho. Let's see. Stoned says, I don't deal in models. I deal in the reality I perceive around me. I've never seen a round earth, and I lived by the sea. I've been to El Teide Mountain in a small island and looked all the way around. This plane is definitely flat. Oh, okay. All right. Well, I don't know. Level Up, you think he earned the critical thinker tag with that response?
Well, only going by that one post, it seems plausible.
We'll give it to him. Somebody can always take it away.
Yeah, that's true.
Oh gosh, but I wonder if somebody deleted it because I'm not finding it. Do we have a critical thinker tag? I know we have an intellectually honest tag. I don't even know if we have one.
I don't know.
I don't know why he thinks we have one.
We have to find one of those people with 50 tags and see if it's on the list.
I mean, I type into the space here, and it usually comes up. I mean, it's not coming up, so. I just gave me intellectually honest. I don't know, that's not really the same thing. I think we have another one that maybe is more like critical thinking. I'll look through them and find something good for him. Somebody else new came in here. Now I can't remember who it was. I'll look again. If you're new and you have a question, or old, or if Howard has another question, feel free to speak up. You don't have to wait to be called on. Mimig is here with a, is that Sally Ride? It's one of those ladies, vintage astronauts. Mimig, are you there?
Oh, hi, yeah.
Hi.
No, it's
is that
Judith
Sally
Resnick.
Ride?
It's Judith Resnick.
Okay. Close. Welcome to the server.
She was the one of the Challenger ladies who they think is still alive.
Okay. How did you find us?
A friend sent me, but I'm choking on something, so I'm not going to talk right.
Oh,
But
I think it's Adam Meekin that there's a lot of background noise. Adam, are you there? Can you mute yourself? Can you guys hear that like static? I think that's coming from him. Adam, I'm going to go ahead and mute you if you can't hear me.
No,
No, that's
can you hear
okay.
me?
Yeah, we
Sorry,
hear you.
guys. I
How are
joined
you?
in. Normally I'm unmuted. I'm painting.
Oh, that's
Listen,
okay.
Evening,
Okay,
Paula,
that's
by
no
the way.
problem.
Hey, Adam.
I'm evening, Mom, obviously.
Yeah, I wonder where that
Good.
was
Oh,
coming
yeah, that
from.
was his. I just wonder where that static was coming from. So
Yeah.
But Mimic, if you can, or maybe it's me, G.
It's Mimi G, but I was on mute, so it wasn't me.
Okay. Oh no, I was just wondering if you are able to answer, or if you're still choking.
I'm a little bit better now. What's up? Hello?
Oh, I just wondered.
You were actually you were worried about me. I'm fine. Thank you.
Okay, good. Yeah. How did you find the server?
Like I said, a friend sent me.
Oh, you did say that already. I'm sorry. I got distracted by all the other stuff going on. So what are your thoughts about the globe?
I don't believe in space. So, we're there. I don't know. I definitely don't believe it's a globe. Is everybody?
Are you really are you the long lost Judith? Is that why you've got
I am. I'm Judith Resnick.
calling us from a remote island.
Right.
All
No,
right,
she's
Judith.
actually
Yes.
like a professor at like Yale or something crazy like that.
Oh yeah, I haven't looked at that for a while. We have it in the. Oh yeah, we've got a whole channel about it, but I haven't looked into it for a
I
while.
looked her up on LinkedIn, and she's like, it's her. There's no question. It's her. I don't know how they do that or why they do that, but it's her.
It's probably part of their like hiding in plain sight, laughing at us type thing.
Yeah, but I keep thinking like, how did she hide for a few years, and then they were just like, everybody's over it by now, or like I'm so curious what the plan was for that.
Yeah, and then to have a high profile position like that. Yeah. That's
There were like the two of them are like identical twins. I don't know. I also like looked at another one on LinkedIn, and the teacher, Krista McAuliffe, and she's also there, and working for some weird kind of shady company. It's got to be them. I really want to know like what the thinking was.
She goes by the same. Does she actually go by that name, Judith?
Yeah, she goes by. It's like I think it was like her middle name. I don't even remember it at this point. There was like everybody has like the moments where you're researching something to the death, and then you forget the whole thing. But something like that. It's like sort of the same. She goes by her middle initial, but it's like that's actually her name. Something like that.
Yeah.
But they all look exactly like their people. And the time frames work and all of it. Anybody else research that?
Sorry, I just wanted to say hi really quick. This is Howard's girlfriend. He wanted me to say hi to you guys.
Oh,
great. Hi. Hope you guys are having a good ladies' night.
We are. I'm so glad that you said hello. Maybe you can sometime make your own Discord account if you feel like it.
Sounds good.
Yeah, because then we could give you the ladies' night tag if you wanted to come another day. So, yeah, like from what he told us, it sounds like you're at least a skeptic of the globe model. Is that correct? Maybe Howard's girlfriend doesn't want to say anything else. But thank you at least for saying hello. Yeah, I was. So Mimi, have you understood the globe and space hoax for quite some time, or are you relatively new to it?
Yeah, it's about exactly a year since, the first
Oh,
level
okay.
came out.
Oh, you watched the Level documentary?
Yeah, the first level is what got us.
Wow. How did you come across it?
It's a really good story. Our mail
Let's hear it.
lady,
Let's hear it. We like stories.
our mail lady who's like, I don't know, like really seriously down every rabbit hole you could be down. So, which we love her. She gives us like all the news. So she got me onto some crazy Telegram chat, and they just mentioned the movie, and I don't know. We watched it like expecting to think it was like some kind of psyop or something, and we started asking questions from that point on.
I am very impressed with this mail lady. Now she's making me feel bad for me saying I don't run around like Jen to the laundromat and telling everybody the earth is flat, but
No, you know what? She wasn't even necessarily into the Earth is flat, which I don't know what shape it is, but stationary anyway. But I actually then went back and introduced her to the movie. But she's like down every other rabbit hole. But it's great to have a mail lady who you can chat with.
yeah, I can't even imagine. That would be like I would never want to move and never want her to leave her job if I had a mail lady like that. You live in the city?
We live in a city, yeah.
Yeah, because I remember that experience when I was in college and rented a house. Because I live in the country where, like, the mail person just drives by and leaves your mail. But I remember the guy that was our mail person, like, and we used to talk to him, and he was a cool guy. Yeah, you had like a connection with him. Yeah, and you left him. Maybe you'd give him a Christmas card or a gift or
Yeah.
something. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, that is one good thing about living in the city that we miss when we live in the country. Although I do know the lady that works at the post office because I actually have to have a PO box. Actually, the mailman won't even come to my house. That's how in the middle of nowhere I am. I have to go to the post office. So that lady I do talk to, but I only go like once a week or something. It's not the same thing. Yeah, that's cool though. I like that. That's the first on our server. Somebody learning about the Level documentary and Flat Earth from their mail lady. That is great. Oh, welcome to Ladies' Night. I can give you I gave you the VC verified role. I'm supposed to ask you, Mimi. I'm sorry. I just assumed because you sounded like a civilized person that you would agree to follow the rules of the server, but do you agree to follow them?
Sorry, what is it?
Oh, I just gave you the VC verified role, so in the future you'll be able to unmute yourself and see more of the server. I gave you the Ladies' Night role.
Thanks.
But I said I was supposed to ask you before I gave you the role if you are willing to follow the rules of the server.
I will assume that I am, but I haven't read them. But I will. And I'll let you know if I object to anything.
Okay, good. And then I can take the role back up. I don't know. They're very standard kind of rules, which are mainly aimed toward teenage trolls. But you never know; there might be something in there you don't like. So I will tag you with the link to the rules there in the live stream voice text. Level up. If nobody else shows up, I'm probably only going to make it till 7. 20 minutes. So I'm probably just going to end the event at 7 if there's no other ladies here, because you know how it is.
Yeah, that's okay with
2
my
hours.
voice the way it is. It's probably better if I don't go too long.
Yeah. But I'll try to unmute some of these other people. There's some other like no roles people, but these no roles people too, if you guys don't want to like talk in the live stream right away. Actually, before I even try to unmute people, I'll just say if you hop up to the VC check-in audio channel and then ping a mod, gold, or silver in the VC check-in voice text, then you can get the VC verified role And you'll be able to unmute yourself as well as see the live stream voice text channel, which has information that goes along with what we're talking about in the live stream, as well as more of the server and so on and so forth. So even if you don't want to speak to us tonight, if you just want to listen, which is perfectly acceptable, having the role doesn't mean you're mandated to speak, just means you have the option to speak, as well as other options and other things that you can view. So like ketamine, I'm talking to you, slave tax, anybody else who's listening that wants to get a role in the server to be able to participate more. I'll just go ahead and unmute Ketamine, see if they want to say hello. Ketamine, I unmuted you if you want to and are able to unmute and say hello. Hello.
Hello.
How are you?
Good, how are you?
Good. How did you find us?
My friend sent me the link, actually. I'm at work right now. I was just listening in.
Okay, well, do you agree to follow the rules of the server, which is generally no trolling, and keep the topic on Flat Earth if I give you the VC verified role, so next time you'll be able to unmute yourself?
Yeah.
Okay. Hey, do you want the ladies' night role also?
Yes, I do. That'd be nice.
Okay, great. Okay, cool. So that way, if you you are not working, or if sometimes ladies' night goes light into the night. It does happen sometimes. So if you ever are able to participate more when you're not at work, then you'll be able to.
Alrighty, thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. Good to have you here. Welcome.
Hi. You unmuted me earlier, but my phone died. So sorry about that.
Oh no. Oh well, I'm glad it came back to life and that you said hello.
Yeah.
Yeah, welcome to the server. How did you find us?
It's funny story. I don't know if this happens a lot, but I was on a train in Portland, Oregon, and some guy came on the train and handed out cards that had the Discord server on it. So I thought it was really interesting and I joined.
Level up. All of these people have been sent to make me feel guilty about saying I don't run around talking to people about Flat Earth in real life. Is that why they're here?
Yeah, somebody's got them all together to just get in your face about it.
I don't have a persecution complex. I'm really just joking. But no, I absolutely think that's cool that somebody did that. I wonder who it was in Portland, Oregon. Wow, that's great. Thank you to whoever that person was that handed out cards with the Discord server on it. That's amazing. I wonder if
I thought it was pretty cool. Yeah, I thought maybe you guys would recognize somebody that does that. I don't know. It was a guy, like a normal looking guy. I don't know his name or anything.
There is some guy. I remember there's some guy. Actually, I do recall, like not that long ago, a week or two ago, somebody showing the cards and saying they were handing them out, but now I can't remember who it was. But now that you've said that, I'm going to have to try to remember or find out who that was. I don't know if anybody else remembers, but there was somebody who was saying that. Orion does that, and somebody else too. It wasn't Orion that I'm thinking of, but I do think that Orion is in that area, so it could have been Orion, which he was here earlier, but he's not here now. So, that's great. Yeah, good news. Yeah, I do have to say in my defense, because all of you single guys out there that run around doing that, like when you have children, like you cannot just, run around like getting yourself into trouble all the time. Like I would have a very different life if I wasn't carrying around children all the time. So I actually used to do a lot of crazy things when I was single, especially in college, but that was back the time of the Gulf War. I used to run around, protest the Gulf War. I went to the Forest Service in Montana, the headquarters, which I think was in Great Falls, dressed up as a grizzly bear. And then we made a giant paper mache calf, which we bowed down to show that the Forest Service was worshiping money and their issuing of oil and gas leases on sacred land of Badger 2 Medicine Wilderness area, and so on and so forth. So I'm giving myself a break that I'm not as radical as I was in my youth. I think that's normal.
Yeah, I think it's important to do what you're good at.
Yeah, absolutely. And everybody's good at something different. Thank you, Hatsune Miku. Yeah, so then like you just joined the server like in between getting the card and coming here, like, or since you've been in the server, have you looked into any of the information about why about the flat earth?
Yeah, I joined a few weeks ago and I didn't look at it at first, and then I looked at it a little bit later and it seemed pretty interesting, but I didn't really get into it too far. And so this is the first time I've come to an event or anything.
Cool. Yeah. So, like, what about just like the most basic flat Earth information, which would be like the laser tests and the long distance observation?
Yeah, I think it makes sense. I'm still skeptical because it's just how I was raised, and I don't feel like I've done enough research on my own. But I like that you guys emphasize that anybody can do these tests, and I can just go and do them for myself. I don't have to believe what somebody else says. So I would like to do that at some point. Where I live there's a lot of hills, so it's not something I've really done. And I live in a city, of course. I live in Portland. But I think it's really interesting. I'd say I know the basics.
Yeah, I think there are quite a few flat earthers over in that area. Portland is not that far from the ocean, is it? How far is it?
It's about 3 hours, but
Oh,
I
it's
don't
3 hours. I
to
didn't
the
realize it
ocean
was
that
that far.
much. Yeah, I think like 3 hours. I don't go very much though.
Yeah, 3 hours can be quite a trip. Yeah, I'm just trying to think if you do go over there, what would be in that area? Like there might be some islands or lighthouses or something. We have this observation page that I put in the wiki there. I'm not actually sure if any of those are
Hey,
in
facts.
Oregon or not. Hello?
I agree with that statement.
I don't know if that person's talking to us or not. Who is that talking?
Pink Gradient Man, whoever that is.
You're.
Hello.
What's up?
Did you have a question for us?
Yeah. Yes, sir.
Oh, we also have Sunshine who's sending me a message that they're in the platform for the Ladies' Night event. I can't find the live stream. Sunshine 17. I'll try tagging them in the lobby. I actually opened. Oh, I shouldn't even say that. Never mind. I'm not going to say that out loud. So, are you new to us, Mr. Pink? It's Sunshine 17.
I am new, and I think the earth is flatter than my mama.
And what makes you think that? Okay, well, we can get back to you, Pink, if you're too busy. Yeah, I don't know what you're doing. Why don't you mute yourself, Pink? It sounds like you got a lot going on there.
Hey, my bad. That was my dog.
Okay.
Clearly he's trolling.
Yeah, I was just going to make sure that Hatsune, because...
So I wanted this job because my mom is really good because she doesn't have kids, and so the cat dogs was moving.
All right, I think he's just needs to be muted.
Somebody muted him.
Okay.
Yeah, somebody did. So yeah, that's cool. I just wanted to make sure that Hatsune, because when you're new to it, like I know it sounds like you are. I'm sorry, Pink totally distracted me because now I can't remember what she said when I asked her if she was familiar with the long distance observations and laser tests. What did she say, Level Up?
I don't think I think we all got sidetracked from there. I don't remember a response to that.
What was your answer, Hatsune? Can you refresh my memory? You answered.
Yeah, Okay, I know a bit about the tests. I just don't have a good place to try the laser test or even the sight distance tests. Then we talked
Okay,
about the
that's what you
ocean.
said. Yes.
Okay, I didn't realize that. That was the same question you were asking. We're all
Both of us kind of
distracted.
spaced out there, yes. But Pink did well with his distraction there. Well done, Pink. If that's what you're trying to do, you succeeded. Yeah. So you said you wanted to do your own, like you've seen the ones other people have, which I think is very admirable. Yes, I support that totally. I know some people like Larry, he's here, have said you can do tests on like is it 1 mile lake? That's the kind of the minimum that you can do like a mirror test or something like that. But I don't know that much about that. Larry, do you have anything to say about that? Aren't you the one who talks about that sometimes?
At least 5 miles, I would say. 1 mile,
5
it's going to
miles.
be 8 inches, and that's going to be pretty hard. Yeah. 10 miles, preferable. Anything between 10 and 20 is going to be really good. When it's 5 miles, it is noticeable.
That's good to know. Yeah, I don't know
I'm not even going
where
to
around
risk. Oh, go
here
ahead. Sorry.
is flat for. Sorry, I don't know where around here is flat or there's a lake that's 5 miles long. There might be, but I might just have to do it whenever I go to the ocean next.
Yeah, and maybe life will arrange itself, and you will just end up being able to go to the ocean. That's probably the easiest way to do it. If you end up doing that, you could come on here and ask people who are from that area, like if they have any ideas of an observation you could do over there, because it does. I mean, it does make a difference. Like you can see all those observations that have been carefully documented. You can look at the weather balloon footage. You can see the laser test documentation. You can, it's impossible. I mean, that's the thing. It's so funny when people come on here and like, why would they lie? How could they lie? When we know it's like a very tiny number of people who claim to go to this space, place called space that we can't go to. Even tiny number of corporations, tied to the media, industrial, military, educational, government complex that are just kind of like running things here. And like you're trying to tell me those people who have billions of dollars reasons as well as other spiritual and psychological reasons to do what they're doing, who are hoarding all the resources, couldn't pull that off. All these just independent flat earthers that aren't getting paid, that are getting, to the opposite, losing money, getting harassed, sometimes losing their jobs, or having problems with their family, and so on, have conspired to show the earth is flat by documenting thousands of observations, laser tests, And so, I mean, it's just absurd. Those are the conspiracy theorists, are the globe people who are trying to say that all of this evidence was somehow faked. It's absurd and obnoxious. I mean, that is the conspiracy that is impossible to pull off, because you also could, if you choose or have the ability to, go and test it for yourself, which many people have done. Not even to mention, they just come right out on NASA.gov and tell you that they made up the globe image with CGI and Photoshop. Like, you don't even need to go out and test it. It's like, it's they are the conspiracy theorists. That's all there is to it. I mean, the globe is the conspiracy. And we just need to start calling them that, because that's what they are.
Yeah,
So
that's really interesting. I mean, you make a really good argument. I can't argue with that. Why do all these independent people at great risk to themselves have this observation? I don't know. It's just like I said, I'm new to it, but it's very interesting. Now I'd like to learn more.
Yeah, and that's the thing, and it takes time, and like around here, we don't expect anyone to like instantly run around, wearing a flat earth t-shirt or anything like that. Like, everybody's on their own journey of discovery, and some people are able to follow the evidence where it leads, and other people either choose not to or appear to be unable to. either intellectually or psychologically unable to do it, or for whatever other reasons, they just choose to stop following the path, which I totally understand, because before I saw the math, which, of the 8 inches per mile squared, when I was stuck in the mainstream media version of Flat Earth and the Flat Earth Society, I also decided I'm not looking at this anymore. This is too much of a headache. So I totally understand where those people are coming from. Like, you're welcome to just hang around here and gather information. We want people to make up their own minds, and sometimes it takes time to be able to do that.
Well, thank you. Thanks for the introduction and the chat. I appreciate that.
Anytime. You don't have to just come on Ladies' Night either. Just you can be here anytime. And I do want to say to Lunatic, thank you for responding to Jim, because I am not even going to respond to that message he gave me. Don't know if he's still listening. Probably not. But some people just can't see the forest for the trees. And he's calling me rude. Jim's calling me rude, people. That's what he put in print there in the voice text. So I won't feel bad about next time just muting him. I won't even be nice. Let him talk 5 times and then express my frustration with his incredible lack of decorum and incredible rudeness. I won't feel a little bit bad about it. I won't try to be polite anymore. Because if I'm going to be called rude after what I've done for that man week after week, then he's not seen nothing yet. You want rude? I'll give you rude next time, Jimmy. Right in here. All right, that's all I got to say.
We had to wait 15 minutes to start past our starting time because the guys were talking, and the thing is, it was going to be another story, not a made up story, but a this life story kind of a story, you know what I mean, where there's an example to be given, but it's like, when there's a theme, we're supposed to try to stick to it, and I'm sure it was a great story, but just the wrong time and place, and that's all. And if anything, you were too tolerant. So you get both extremes this way.
I know, and that's my lesson. Actually, this has been a great lesson for Discord, and here it is reinforced tonight: is I am way too tolerant. When you're too tolerant for so long, then that's what you get. I've gotten that many times, because the people don't realize that you're humoring them and actually trying to be nice to them. They actually think they're that fascinating. That's all I'm going to say, because I'll go too far. You know me. But anyway, let's move on. So we had somebody else new here, and I'll try to restrain myself if I actually see Jim, because it might go badly. Demise. There we are. Should we try unmuting Demise? Let's try it. We've had good luck with these other people.
Oh,
Hi there, Demise. Welcome to the server.
Thanks, ladies, for coming on and hosting the show for us. It's nice to have a break from reality.
Should we be upset? Should we be offended?
What is the reality that we're giving you a break from?
Oh, well, a lot of people, they think 3-dimensional objects can be flat. You know what I mean?
No, I don't. You're going to have to explain that further. A lot of people think 3-dimensional objects could be flat. Who are these people, and why do they think that?
I guess they didn't go to geometry class or something.
So I've got a piece
what
of
did you
paper.
learn there?
A piece of paper. Is it 3-dimensional? It's flat.
Yeah, it's 3-dimensional.
Right. So what's the problem? 3-dimensional things can be flat.
Well, the surface of one of the surfaces could be flat, sure, but the paper itself is not flat.
Yeah, it's a flat piece of paper. It's not rolled in a ball. It's not in a parabola. It's not any other shape but flat.
Well, the shape of the piece of paper isn't flat. Flat isn't a shape.
Yeah, flat's
it could be rectangular, it could be a square, right? But the shape of the Earth is not flat.
Why do you think the
shape
Earth
of the Earth is constantly changing? That's why when you walk on the beach, it changes shape underneath your feet.
Yeah,
right?
You're playing semantics. Because what we're talking about is Earth being a plane rather than a ball. Does a plane work for you? P-L-A-N-E.
Which kind of plane? You're talking about the plane that flies in the sky?
No, I just spelled it for you. P-L-A-N-E. Do you know what a plane is in geography?
So the Earth is not a plane.
Earth is
what
a plane.
definition is that? Do you have a citation, please?
I have an observation. That's even better than a citation. Earth is observed to be flat. It is, according to the dimensions we're giving for ball Earth, we see way too far, as we've been talking about for the past couple hours.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not saying Earth's a ball. I'm not saying Earth's water, right? I'm just saying the Earth is the dirt that you walk on that's constantly changing shape at the beach.
Yeah, so we're not even talking about the shape of the entire thing we're living on now, because you're going off into this minutia that doesn't even matter to the discussion. This is about an Earth shape as it's understood in the context of opposed to Earth being a sphere.
Well, I've done observations too. The Earth's shape is constantly changing.
So Earth is a sphere, then it's flat, then it's a box. Is that what you mean by Earth's shape is constantly changing?
I never said anything of that. I said when people go to the beach and walk on the Earth changes its shape, does it not?
Yeah, but that's entirely irrelevant in this context. This context is, are we on a ball or are we on a plane? That's what we mean by Earth shape.
Well, I'm on neither.
What are you on?
Well, I know where I live.
Where do you live?
The Garden of Eden.
Really? Is the Garden of Eden a sphere? Are you on the surface of a sphere? Hello? Okay. Oh, look at the time. You still there, Dandelion? She must be busy. But yeah, this is a common tactic where we're in a certain context. We're debating, it says Flat Earth Discord. Flat Earth. We're not talking about can you walk on the beach and it's lumpy. That's not what we mean, because all of that was just a whole pack of red herrings. Nothing to do with the context and ladies' night. There you go. And that's what we think about that kind of diversion. Because that's all it was. Especially with shotgunning kind of. Hopefully Dandelion will be back in a sec. So I think she wanted to round out about now. Although, like I said, we got started about 15 minutes late, so, but I'm not going to end it. I'll wait for her. Let's see what's going on in chat. Bickering, something about electrical resistance. All right, well, yeah, if anybody sees Dandelion, maybe she just lost connection or something. I don't know. She's still on the list here. Nope, she's gone. She might have had to drop and rejoin.
She said before that she was leaving at 7, and it's 7.
Oh, usually she says goodbye or something. I didn't see that. Okay. Well, since she's gone, I think it's probably a good time to wind it down anyhow. So, I don't know how to, I mean, I technically have the ability, but I don't know how you end it. So, whoever knows how to do that can officially end it, I guess. All right, so.
One of the mods should be around somewhere. And I was just going to speak up for Jim. I'm sorry you didn't know this was ladies' night, and some of us do speak. If you look at me like I'm speaking, I'm usually allowed to speak because I don't overspeak the women. Most of the time, I'm pretty good about that. But they've given me a ladies' night. I've actually helped moderate during ladies' night. That's different. Some of us do speak up. We're golds, pluses, and moderators. So you can't take that out of context either.
Yep. I always say context is everything. It's just like with the meanings of words, they're in the context. Earth-shaped debate is a context. So, yep. Alrighty, well, I'm gonna drop on out then and save my voice, and then somebody can end Ladies' Night. Oh, Dandelion said BRB, so maybe I should hang on? Okay, she can be back shortly. Chicks and ducks need heat lamps. Or go ahead and end if you want to. Yeah, I think I will. We're near the time we had talked about anyway, so unless you really want to keep it going, I don't have the voice to keep it up for myself anyway, so yeah, I guess you're listening, so yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and drop, and you guys can have at it. Catch y'all later.
Bye.
Thank you, Level Up. Great job, as always. You always do awesome. And that was the Ladies' Night here on Friday night, every Friday, Flat Earth 24/7 Discord 2.0 live. That was my fake radio voice. How do you like it? No answer. I guess nobody liked it.
Is it still Ladies' Night?
That was just the pregnant pause after Ladies' Night.
Well, it sounds like Pause has been dirty to the slut. I'm just joking.
Get on button. Release the ballet.
Pause, you cut that out now. Told you about that before.
Stop working and get a real job.
Yeah, too much time on your hands.
Has anyone?
So the Earth, it's not an object. It's a realm. Sorry, I think I cut you off.
Oh, there was nothing. It's just mumbling for myself. Sorry.
Oh, it's all good. So yeah, it's a realm, right? The Earth isn't an object that you can, hold in your senses, right? You can't like hold it in your perception, like the whole thing all at once. So if you think about the Earth as a realm, and you were to describe it, well, how would you describe any surface that there's no curvature anywhere? So some people say flat, some people say level, and then there's a group of crazies who say that level means curved and that flat means curved. It sounds like they've been like brainwashed by the educational system. Isn't that right, Matthew Learn? Anyway, your silence is acquiescence. So, yeah, moving on. So, yeah, if it's not covering anywhere, then, the only thing it could be is, level. And of course, there's terrain, mountains and valleys and hills and all sorts of things like that. But, yeah, nobody seems to bring any evidence otherwise. And all they talk about is the sun, moon, and stars. It's like, hey, what kind of shoes are those? Like, oh, it's Toyota. Like, no, bro, I'm not talking about your car. Like, what kind of shoes are those? Like, oh, it's a Nissan. Like, bro, what are you talking about? It's like that's what they're doing, right? I don't know if they can hear themselves, but next time somebody asks you about the shape of the Earth, and you start talking about, did you know the sun is a sphere? Is ladies' night not over, and I'm just gaining penalties? What's going on?
Well, I mean, she said she thought she lives on a plane or some shit like that. Larry, did you hear about that?
Yeah, that's one word that you could describe it with.
Well, no, you can't, because if you speak English, right, you should be able to go to the dictionary and look up the word. I've never seen Earth being defined as a plane, but for some reason she was regurgitating that nonsense.
So her and Nirvana, like Kurt Cobain, they're the only ones that live on a plane?
I'm just saying, if you speak English, right, what does Earth mean?
Dirt, dry land.
Oh, so what definition and what dictionary said it's a plane? Good question, right? Next.
No.
Kurt Cobain.
Next.
All the dictionaries say Earth is a ball. So what the fuck are you talking about? Yo?
Okay, which one says that, Sonny? Citation, please.
Okay, not dictionary.
Put it in live stream voice text when you're done. Thank you.
Okay, not dictionary. But anywhere else it talks about Earth, they're claiming it's a ball.
Who's they?
The authorities that are printing the school kids' books.
Oh, wow. That's the narrative they're pushing these days? Jesus Christ.
Oh, they're not teaching a ball in school?
I don't know what's worse, that or coming in here on ladies' night and someone telling me Earth's a plane. I don't know which one's worse. Sonny, you tell us.
I don't know. We're not printing the fucking books, bro. Why don't you ask them?
Apparently flat earthers don't speak English very well.
Why don't you ask them the questions? We're not the authority in charge of everything.
Demise, are you trying to live up to your name? Read the thing that I just posted. I should have spaced it out.
Just your hyper-semanticism is just getting old, man.
Yeah, the point is the word plane isn't in any of those definitions.
Okay, what would you prefer us to call a level topographical Earth?
I don't know. This is the Earth, right? So define Earth. I gotta know which Earth you're talking about.
The problem in these discussions is some people think they can turn them into word games. You lose the whole point.
Is this
not a
the
word game.
ladies' night? It's live now.
We said Earth is not a fucking plane either.
Why do you care the shape of it? I don't understand you, man. Like, just go on with your life. Like, nobody cares.
Yeah, like, just say the word.
No, you don't
we
care
know
about
who
the
this
shape
guy.
of the
We
Earth,
know who this
Quetzalcoatl?
guy is. We know he's fucking constantly trolling us, changing his name. Like, you're breaking the server rules by being here right now. Honestly, we're supposed to just insta ban you. Just shut the fuck up, dude, and listen, or Tune in on YouTube. We don't want to engage you with this bullshit.
I wouldn't want to be engaged by a bunch of liars either.
Let me ask you a question. It's just the surface that we know about. We don't know what's under on the side. We just know the surface is flat. That's all it's about. So the surface.
What's the surface of what is flat?
What did I just tell you? Tell me what I said.
Yeah, if you tell him it's.
I want to know what surface is flat.
If you tell him you're talking about the surface of water, he'll tell you that the water has waves, or and then you get into that semantic bullshit. It's just last week.
Say that's not Earth.
Last week he was talking about how we're inside of a ball or something like that. It changes every few days. Like
I thought it was an upside down triangle pyramid.
I don't know, man.
Hey Lou, you heard the new Mandela?
I don't know if it's new or not. What
I'm not sure if it's new, but I just heard today is the Ed McMahon was never part of the.
No, yeah, that's an old. That's one that's been around a long time. That's a for sure, dude. I've never heard of American Family Publishers until I heard of the Mandela Effect. It was definitely Publishers Clearinghouse with him, but yeah, I don't want to turn this into a Mandela Effect fucking conversation either.
Yeah,
that one's been around. That one's been around long time. Since like probably 2016, that's been big.
I just want to deal with the piss drinker.
Oh yeah, thanks. We'll talk about Mandela Effect all day. I'm sure everybody in here would like much rather talk about Mandela Effect than talk to pee drinker.
I think the official story is that Ed McMahon was not with Publishers Clearinghouse. He was with another company that does door-to-door. But I don't remember that name.
No, they claim that he worked for American Family Publishers or something like that. I think that's what it is. But no, I distinctly remember, like I had a neighbor across the street that when they went out of town, I'd have to go and get their mail for them and like put it in their like screen room and I'd get our mail too. And like every few days, it was another Publishers Clearinghouse with Ed McMahon's face right there on the damn envelope for the freaking sweepstakes. I know for a fact that it was Ed McMahon with them. And he had the big checks and he went door to door, and supposedly none of that ever happened.
So is reality shifting before us?
I don't know. It just depends on how you look at, like, could we all be victims of like MK Ultra mind control and they're just messing with your head? Could it be the control of information? Could it be, there's all kinds of explanations for how people could be mistaken. But for masses of people to be mistaken all in the same way, it's not something just like accidental, coincidental.
Hey, Lou, I concur with you on the Ed McMahon. I grew up in that period. And the reason I know is because we had a culture around it. We used to joke each other about it.
Yeah. Oh, he sings a rap song about it. The actual Ed McMahon. You can go and watch it.
They call that red.
I just wanted to say that we are all victims of mind control. Every single one of us. If you think that you've never been mind controlled in your life, you're crazy. We've all been and still are and will be victims of mind control. Thank you.
The lamb shall lay with the lion shall lay with the lamb, and now it's the wolf.
And they used to have Ed McMahon on the Johnny Carson show, and then right in there would have the commercial, the Family Publishers coming out your door. It could be you, that Ed McMahon. It was all over.
Oh, but see, now you just screwed it up. You said American Family Publishers, which is that's the official story. And most people, when you're talking about the Mandela Effect, you're talking about him working for Publishers Clearinghouse, which, like, I've never heard of any other company besides Publishers Clearinghouse up until this debate started going on.
I do.
Well, apparently the mind control's still working, because see, even I have a glitch. Even though I remember. You have a glitch? They inserted the wrong name. Oh, crap.
But the thing is even with the American family publishers, like now the official story is that he never handed out any big checks, like oversized checks. He never gave anybody any oversized checks. He never went and knocked on anybody's door and handed them a big ass check ever. That's what they're saying.
Well, I'm gonna check on it
Who
again.
changed it?
We're checking on the curious case of Ed McMahon and the Publishers Clearinghouse from Forge.com.
I gotta say, I remember the Publishers Clearinghouse. I think we all do. If you were like alive in the '80s and you ever got into your parents' mail, or if you were alive, in the '70s or before and got your own mail, we all remember that. So to me, the Mandela effect is the lie where they're telling us, no, there was no publishers who had a house full of really big, gigantic checks and they had to clear it out. That's all made up bullshit. So that's, that right there, the lie is the Mandela effect. They lied and said he died in prison, but here he is president. How do you do both at the same time? Right. So one of them has to be an outright lie. They both can't be true. So to me, that's the Mandela effect, the lie.
Yeah. I don't know how I square that with what I.
To me, there is no Mandela effect. You're just remembering it wrong.
So the Mandela effect was inserted when they asserted the Mandela effect.
No, we're not remembering it wrong. We remember it right. That's my version.
See, but that's where it gets sticky too, is because there's a lot of people who remember it what is supposedly the correct way, who don't remember it the way that you and I remember it, and they will say that you and I are wrong.